That's what you call a Patreon, folks.
Armpit farts.
The height of comedy. Here we are. We're on the couch. We're going gay. We haven't done one of these just clean cut, basic, shoot to the folks right directly in their face, jizz on the eye.
It's been a while. Good to be here. We're running around. It's the scheduling is crazy. It's tough. We're very busy. A little full, a lot of sap, but
and then
good to be here.
You get a free moment, you go, we got to film it.
I know.
We got to record
it. So hard to not be what's content, what's not content. It's very tricky.
Yeah.
But here we are. We're happy you're here. This is a good old classic bonus Patreon. We don't have much time. I got to go meet an asshole and a queef, but
oh man,
you know,
that's diversity. But yeah, I bumped into Soder today.
He told me.
Yeah, and he was like, "Let's get lunch and not film it." And I was like, "Great idea."
Yeah, that's fun. I did that the other day. I had a nice little hang with a few friends outside the cellar, and that was the day you went to Royersford.
Ah, yes.
We had a nice little gang down here, and some good laughs. We sat outside, and everyone, lunch, and then people walk by, and you go, "Hey, Billy, hey, Sue," and it was just nice to have some wings and some fries.
Yes.
Sun setting, and
you feel like you own that sidewalk.
It's beautiful, and you just
like the good fellas out there.
You feel so grateful to be like, oh, we're at the cellar. We're the cellar people.
Yes.
We got a nice resume, a couple bucks, and it feels good.
Remember when I made that? Well, first of all, two things. One, it comes back to what you always say. We're in the middle of Portland at Bridgetown, or we're at the Denver Fest at Montreal, and we go, this is great. We're all eating lunch and hanging out, and you go, we could do this every day.
I know.
We live in the same city.
Well, we said that because it was like a random day, and I said, let's meet up in person. And we had 4 or 5 of us, had a nice little meal, and then we each go to our spots. And I'm like, why don't we do this once a week?
I know.
6 o'clock in the Village. You hang for 2 hours. Then everyone goes to their spots just to catch up.
Well, comics we need the hump. Let me try to explain this. Like, comics are such cunts about socializing and everything's effort, everything's work. So when you get to Montreal, we're already here. But in New York, it's like, I gotta go get on a train to get to the park, and then mingle, and then when do I leave, and all that. We analyze the bullshit out of everything. But if you get over that hump, it's good. But the Montreal Fest gets you over the hump.
Yeah, you've defeated so many of the roadblocks, the humps.
Right.
The hoof.
It's like you and Colin Quinn have a relationship, but you guys aren't getting lunch every day. But if you were opening for him, you'd hang out all day and all night,
all the ding dong day.
Yeah,
it's all phone. It's all pipes.
Right.
Plus, you get the dopamines, the hanging, the being together, and you feel less alone because comedy is so isolating. Of course, that's the hard thing about comedy. Wow. And I don't know. I have such a instinct to isolate. I always have this thing of someone's like, "You want me to take you a lunch?" I'm like, "No.
Yes,
I got a thing. I got big things going on."
That's what I'm talking. That's a hump.
And then I sit there and I'm like, "I'm so lonely. What am I doing? I should say yes more to these people." But some people do suck. Then
some people do suck,
and you're like, "I'm stuck with this asshole."
I've said it before. You ever seen that guy on Facebook like, free from 3 to 6 today, feel like hanging anyone? I'm like, are you nuts? You're throwing that out to the general pop? What are you, crazy?
I'm eating over here.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's just amazing how much you try to undo, because every instinct I have is negative.
Right.
My instinct is like, don't work out, don't write, just sit here, isolate, don't hang out. But all those things make me feel good.
I will say it's all 99% of the time, it's better when you do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe 98, but still.
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. You need some alone time.
Sure.
I like alone time, but it's bad. But it's hard because a lot of it's letting go of control. Because sometimes people are like, we'll get together, watch the game. And I'm like, no, but you're going to be talking. I want to watch the game. You're going to say something, and then that'll suck.
Yeah.
And it's trying to let go, and let God fuck you in the ass.
Well, I remember a friend, I never forgot this. We were at a diner really late. It was after some shows. It was like 5 of us comics bullshitting. And I was like, I got to do this picnic with the lady tomorrow. I had some bullshit to do, and I was like, And I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? He's like, my girlfriend keeps texting me, but I don't want to hang out with her. I'm going to have a me day tomorrow. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, she wants to get breakfast. I don't want to get breakfast. I want to sleep in and play video games. So I'm like, oh, God, that sounds great. And then I was like, what am I doing? Why is he living his life the way he wants to live it? I'm going to some fucking museum or whatever I don't want to do. And I realized he's now alone and sad and kind of depressed and maybe a drug addict, alcoholic. And I got a nice lady here in a nice apartment. So sometimes you got to do the shit you don't want to do.
You got to bend a little. Am I trying to control everything? Am I doing someone else's plan ever?
Right.
I have that a lot.
Right.
But it's tricky. It's very hard to navigate these things and be mindful of this stuff.
Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, you can't just have what you want. It's like you can't have ice cream every day because then it ain't ice cream.
Right. But I had this a long time ago with Roberto Kelly, where we got in the thing, and I said, our entire relationship is on a podcast.
Yeah.
We need to build up the non-podcast time, because otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're co-stars.
So we started talking on the phone a little bit more, which is good. And, a couple of hangs here and there, because otherwise you're like, we're just actors on a TV show.
Yeah, right.
And then all of a sudden, you do a couple zings and one person gets outraged and you're like, what the hell? I thought we were doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tricky. You need a little queef time.
Yeah, that's what's fun about us is we'll chat on the phone every now and then. And when we work together, rarely on the road, we'll sit down and have a cigar after the show.
Yes.
We'll take a walk. We'll talk the whole time.
Well, that's the thing that I've told you before. We watched it, I think, High and on Bill's years ago, but I have that DVD, Comedy All-Stars, and Bill Maher gives this really heartfelt speech. He's like, I just miss seeing everybody all the time. That's the hardest part of getting successful, is we're not working together.
Yes.
It becomes very isolating.
And COVID didn't help that either. Remember when COVID hit, and the first time you hung out with comics, it was like, oh, I miss this almost as much, maybe even more than the stand-up part.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Couple things come to mind. I just talked about this with Ian on Mindful Metal Jacket. Shameful plug. Or shameless plug? Shameless plug. No, I guess it is shameful. I feel shame.
Yeah, it's shameless of you, but you feel shame.
Yeah. So I'm filled with shame. But anyways, we were talking about that, like, I'll get depressed or anxious, and then you go to the cellar, you just sit at that table, and whoever comes just comes. It's like a crapshoot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Even if it's someone I think sucks, I'm like, hey, or at least I'm talking to this person. And then you become a little closer with them.
Agreed. Again, a hump. Once you get over that hump.
So, and then the other thing I always think about, and I've probably talked about this before because I talk about it all the time, there's a great video from like an ESPN thing about Carl Yastrzemski, who played with the Red Sox for 23 years, and then he retired, and they give him a fishing rod, and they say, hey, congrats. And he gets broken up. He starts giving this speech, and he's like tearful, and he says, I won't miss the game very much, but I'll miss all of you. And it's so sweet and so beautiful because ultimately the shows are annoying, the travel, the thing. You love being on stage, but there's a lot about it. If like COVID, you're like, woo, let me take a break from trying to come up with shit and dancing for the folks. But you miss the boys and the girls. There's a couple of girls that are fine.
Sure. It's a couple. Yeah. Why is that? Why are men so fun?
Well,
I mean, we don't have to get into specifics and shit on people here, but why are dudes fun as hell?
Well, one thing is there's no sexual tension. Sometimes with a woman, you're nervous because you're like, am I going to come off like I'm, you know what I mean?
Flirting.
I got a female friend. We're close. I'm about to meet up with her now. Like, there's always a moment of like, is this going to be bad? Can I say this?
Yeah.
Say that? Can you? And you don't want to be like, look at this fucking pussy. Like, it's harder. With men, you're more uninhibited. You can be like, look at her. I wouldn't mind eating that asshole. I wouldn't mind fucking his. There's something about that. And I think it's tricky to be a woman. You have different hormones, different chemicals in there.
Yeah. Then they get mad at you. They go, you don't think we're fun? You're like, well, this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, like, just chill out, hang back, cut loose, relax.
Yeah.
Be goofy, be wacky, be silly.
Well, it's a Venus and Mars.
Yeah.
Poem is.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think that's. Now I'm getting offensive, but like so many women talk about pussy and sex and blowjobs on stage because you never get to hear that. So when you hear a female comic talk about it, you're like, hey, this is fun. And then they all notice that, so they all gravitate towards that substance. And I don't know. I'm like, I think it's fun if a woman's just like, oh, I blew this guy the other day, had a weird dick, or whatever it is. Just hang out.
Yeah, but I think we're getting to that.
I hope.
More and more like that. Obviously, it's all progress, Jerry.
I hope.
Because in the 80s, you couldn't do that, or in the 40s or whatever. So they can vote now. They can talk about blowing guys. And I'm always interested to get that perspective of like what it's like to have cum in your mouth and all that stuff.
I love to hear all that stuff. I mean, every nugget of truth a woman has given me, I've never forgotten because it's so rare. It's so vague and hidden. And even when like you're fucking a woman, like in a relationship or dating, she'll be like, "You want to come over and cuddle?" No, a woman never goes, "Hey, come over and fuck me."
Right.
What is that? I'm like, you call us immature. You can't even say, "Come fuck me."
Well, I think part of it is this societary thing that you're a slut, you're a whore, you're a cunt.
I know, but I think they think that too. We blame it on society all day long, but I think they believe it.
I think that happens a lot, especially with the Botox and the stuff. I'm like, no one's asking you to do that.
Yes,
Every woman is
exactly.
getting the stuff, and I'm like, I don't want you to do. I never even thought of that.
Men hold us down. They have this image of us that we have to uphold. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Do you want to be found attractive? Then that's on you.
Right, yeah.
Man, I don't even love all the work done. I'm not into that.
I hate the work.
Hate the work.
I want an old, saggy asshole.
Give me a big foot for a face.
A gross, wrinkly bag of a face.
Yeah, I like a snarly, ghoulish cunt.
Yeah. Snarly ghoul.
Cunt. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I'm working on this joke now about how like women always go, how come if a man sleeps with a lot of girls, he's a player? If a girl sleeps with a lot of guys, she's a slut. I'm like, because you think that. You call me a slut, and I'm fine with it. The only reason guys keep doing it is because it bothers you.
Right.
Otherwise, we wouldn't give a you wouldn't. I mean, we don't care. I love sluts.
Yeah. I like a slut.
You don't like sluts.
Yeah, that's
Ladies.
interesting.
Okay, maybe I have something there.
Bunch of I wonder how many lady patrons we have. There's a few at least. There's a couple.
Yeah, I'd like to have more, but again, maybe we're too raunchy. Who knows?
I think there's a lot of lady queer, a lot of couple gays.
Yes,
a lot of couple. We both love it, and you're always like, wow, really?
Yeah, and I would argue this is a feminist. We're feminists.
I think so. We're treating the genders equally.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, it's weird then, too. It's kind of like when people say big is beautiful, and you go, okay, well, you're fat. And they go, fuck you.
Right.
So you're like, so it is bad? Or you're lying to me or you're lying to yourself? What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's tricky.
And I'm a literal cunt, so I take it literally, and then I get in trouble.
Yeah, but we're trying.
We're trying.
We're good people. We're doing our best.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Oh, boy. I got a couple more.
Well, what do you got tonight? You got any spots?
I got a bar show, Lower East, 86 Orchard Street. Some guy named Pat Barry.
I've been there, I think.
He Instagrammed me, and I just happen to have nothing. It's like $40. He's like, we got a big crowd, or 40 people. Maybe it's $30 and 40 people.
All right.
It's $40 and 30 people.
Either way, solid.
Yeah, something like that. Lower East Side. And I saw him promoted. He said it's almost sold out.
Oh,
so
nice.
What the fuck? I said, hey, I'll give it a try. I mean, I haven't done like a straight up bar show other than Cantor's in a dog's age.
And at least it's in the city, although you do live in Queens.
It's in the city, but maybe I'll take an Uber and you can take the Williamsburg.
Ooh.
But I shouldn't be taking these Ubers. It's so much money.
It rakes up. It adds up. Boy, I'd love to find a nice parking spot. I'm getting the car back soon.
Wait, where's the car? It's in Jersey?
It's in Jersey Beach. I got leather seats. I got lights on it. I got new sound system.
You got to take me for a cruise. We'll throw Chuck in the back.
Oh, that would be delightful.
I've never cruised in the thing.
Oh, it's
zero rides. I've only seen it.
Oh yeah. Well, it was a quick encounter. You had to run.
No ride. I'd love to be on FDR with that. Well, FDR is scary. Maybe the West Side Highway.
Let's go West Side Highway.
Yeah, FDR is horrific.
It's like a video game. The lanes are this narrow. There's Indian men whizzing by with headsets on. It's wild.
I told you, I've been on that road and been like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
And there's bumps. So, like, not only is it already harrowing, but then you're like, bah, 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 and you got to get it back in line. And oh, my God.
So bad. I still say you should buy a utility car.
I think about that, too.
I really think you should.
I would like one.
I mean, a nice Chevy Spark and, Elantra, whatever the fuck. Yeah, some bullshit.
Yeah, you can bang around.
Throw them a few bucks. And with these patrons, by the way, I mean, it's...
Yeah, it's true.
It's 1 month's Patreon. You can get maybe 2 months Patreon.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
Maybe 2.5, but whatever. Oh, my God. That was like a body slam.
Oh man, Lord. That was horrific.
That was bad.
All right, well, might have to change the couch and the underwear.
It sounded like a water balloon landing on bricks.
That
boy.
Was rough. Hit the bricks.
Boy. I think I gotta go. I gotta meet up with
you're back to wearing a mask.
And
right.
we're at 15. That was a nice 15 bonus.
Sure.
Plus we got a new Hot Gay sets coming soon.
You got that right.
Where was that shot?
Poughkeepsie.
Mine are cute. I got cuties.
Goddamn adorable.
I'm pushing up daisies over here.
I feel like you got a grade A student. I got juvie over here.
Yeah, yours is, you got a suicidal fat kid.
Oh, God. All right, well, I'm going to kill myself, and that was more normal. But, yeah, keep it real. Tell a friend. This was a fun Patreon, and more stuff to come with Chuck, and best Patreon in the country. Thank you.
Thank you.